So today I was clearing some land next to my house. I like it. For me, doing physical manual labor is fun to me. I enjoy it. I like getting out with my own two hands and just ripping and tearing, making things nice, tearing down whatever I can to bring about the vision I get in my head when I look at something that is overgrown and I can see how it's going to look when I'm done and working toward that goal. And sometimes I get into it and I don't even know how it's going to look before I start. I just get into it. I usually will go with a weed eater, a push mower, some hand loppers, and that's about it. I don't like equipment. I hate anything automated. I like my own manual physical labor. And here's something that I learned, interestingly, while I was doing what I was doing earlier. This particular area that I was clearing used to be a cow field a long time ago. Now, over the years, since it is no longer being used by farm animals, it's become largely overgrown. I remember what it used to look like years ago. It was much nicer, it was clearer. And because I can remember what it used to look like, now that I am clearing it and I'm trying to bring it back to that state of pristine beauty again, because even back when it was a cow field, it was actually a neat little field. And now, after years and years of trying to myself bring it back to what it used to be, I have this mental image versus what I'm working with. Now, when you let something go out of nature for a period of time, especially land, it will grow up and get out of control very, very quickly. You let something go for 2, 3, 4 years, and it really starts to encroach. And then with each passing year, it gets worse. Now, in this particular situation, it had been probably 15 years at the least in which this field was let go, and it got very out of hand. So, tall grass, spindly vines and shrubs, just a mess, just tall. When you go and you look at it the way it is right now, and you even consider cleaning it up, it's one of those things where at first it just seems to be insurmountable because it's just so overwhelming. But what I find once I start is the years and years worth of overgrowth is actually pretty easy to cut down. With a good push mower, good sharp blades, a good weed eater with good string, good tough pair of heavy duty loppers, you can make quick, short work of even years worth of neglect. So while it took years for what I'm clearing to get where it's at, it only takes me an hour, maybe 2 hours, to return it to a state of pristine beauty. Now, what's interesting is that is very accurate and similar. It's a parallel, really, to the world and good and evil, and how the world we live in today has gotten to where it's at. Evil and bad doesn't take over at the snap of the fingers. It takes time. Corruption, evil of any kind, it takes time to worm its way down into the heart of a people, society. It takes a long time until eventually, usually subtly, and nobody even notices, eventually it becomes such an entrenched problem that its roots go deep, and before anyone has the mindfulness, the awareness to see it, not until it's too late, then they look and they see the problem it's become. It's like a field full of thistles. You ignored it and ignored it and ignored it, and eventually it got out of hand. And then you inevitably start feeling this sense of desperation. Oh my gosh, this is a lost cause. But evil, like shrubbery, like brush, is not that hard to uproot when Father acts. You see, Father lets things go for a long time. He'll let evil fester. He will let it dig down and entrench itself. He'll let the roots get big and thick, really dig down in deep. And it takes a while. And he lets it occur. And the reason why Father does this is for no different reason than why I like clearing land. I get a satisfaction and a thrill when I am mowing and tearing down and I am destroying weeds and brush, vines, thorn bushes. As I destroy that stuff and I return it to a state of beauty, I get a rush from it. I like it. I love taking something. This is my thing. Anybody who knows me, as a quick side note, will know in my real life, I'm a pretty boring person. I'm into very little. I have no material hobbies. I don't really have a lot of hobbies. I am interested in very little in life. Very little. I like music. I like working out. I like writing. And I do my faith job. That's about it. And I like Pokemon Go. I'm a nerd. Outside of that, I'm not really interested in anything. But something I love doing is taking land that is far gone, and I love restoring it to a state of beauty. To me, it's beautiful. It's a thrill. It's intoxicating. I get such a sense of joy and fulfillment from it. And then standing back and looking at it and going, oh, man, that's nice. That's nice. I enjoy doing that. That, to me, is fun. Father is the same way. It's why he lets evil get out of hand. It's why he lets evil get to the point that it's at in the world right now. Because Father gets a thrill. He gets a deep joy out of letting evil get so bad and so far gone, and then easily, when he acts, ripping it all up by the root, throwing it into the fire, and watching it burn. For him, it's the equivalent of mowing down tall grass, destroying shrubbery, and ripping out thorn bushes. Father gets a thrill from that. It glorifies him. It gives him excitement. And it doesn't take, when he acts, it's like when I act with clearing land. When Father does what he's going to do, it's easy for him in the same way like what I do is easy for me. It's just like pulling weeds up. In fact, as springtime came along, I'm already done with this job, but I went out and I endeavored to pick every single weed out of my driveway. Most people spray the weeds in their driveway. I don't like doing that. I like to pick them. You pick them all out, and then the rest of the year, just do an overview every couple days, keep them picked out, and it's a much easier, better way to keep weeds out of your driveway than spraying them. You spray them, not only are you spraying toxic, poisonous weed killer on your property, but it doesn't work. They'll come back, but you pick them up by the roots, and they're gone. So when I was picking weeds out of my driveway, it was easy, just simple. Father's the same way. We look at the world around us. We see how far gone things seem to be to us. And we get impatient, and you go, Father, why are you waiting? Why are you taking your time? It's out of hand. But he looks at it the same way that, for instance, I looked at the land around me for years. I didn't do anything with it. Technically, it wasn't mine until I got permission later on down the road from new owners to clear it. I didn't feel a sense of urgency because I always knew that if I decided tomorrow to go and start clearing this land, I knew with my abilities, I could get it done really quickly. So to me, even as overgrown as it was, I knew it wouldn't take that long for me to fix it up. And I knew I would enjoy it when I did it, when I wanted to do it. Father is no different. It is exactly the same. To him, he doesn't look at the state of this world and he's not overwhelmed. He's not stressed. To him, he's not looking at it and going, oh man, this is going to be a big job. To him, it's easy. To him, it's like picking weeds. To him, it's like picking weeds after a fresh rain has made the soil nice and moist and the weeds just slip up out of the ground practically. To him, uprooting evil, when he finally acts and he does big cataclysmic things, it's the exact same. And with what Father is about to do, what he's going to do in this world is the biggest thing he's ever done. It is going to be the greatest act of uprooting evil he's ever done. So he's let it get overgrown. He's let this world get like the field across from my house. He's let it get overgrown really, really badly. So that when he cleans it up, it's going to look beautiful, gorgeous. And today, that really helped me to understand what I was doing. It helped me get a little bit better of an understanding of how Father's mind works when it comes to how he sees our world. Because a lot of times Father has to take something that we do, that we understand on our level, and he has to help us to understand something about himself through something that we do that makes sense to our mind, like me clearing land. And then once we understand it, once we see that example and that parallel, it makes perfect sense. So fret not. The world's not too far gone. The world's not out of hand. It's just where Father wants it. The world is akin to a weed. The problems and the evil in the world is akin to a weed or an overgrown field. For Father, it's as easy as plucking that weed or taking a mower, taking a weed eater, taking equipment to an overgrown field and just clearing it in a day and making it beautiful and pristine again. And that's probably one of the best analogies that we could have to look at that.